It would be unfair to characterize any police bureau, Atlanta's or any other city's, as brutal based on the complaints of a handful of citizens. On the other hand, as evidenced by this incident involving a Channel 2 photographer, to deny that undue harassment exists is unrealistic. What the ACLU is contending is not that police brutality in Atlanta is increasing. On the contrary, it feels that the Bureau is generally more sensitive to such behavior than in years past. But rather, the process for reviewing allegations of brutality is inadequate, that for police to police, the Office of Professional Standards, is like sending the fox to guard the hen house. Last September, architect I.E. Saporta looked out his office window on 5th Street near Peachtree to see a police officer start to manhandle a citizen. He later learned that the citizen had refused to accept a ticket from the officer. He related what he saw to the ACLU and police.
This officer was pushing the man against the back of the car while searched. He then hit him with his knee against his groin repeatedly, and I thought this fellow's a sadist or we're dealing with a real bad criminal. In the meanwhile, 5 or 6 police cars came, and one with motorcycles to handle this very dangerous individual. They handcuffed him, they pushed him, he fell down on the concrete sidewalk. And then they lifted him up and threw him head first into the back seat of one of the patrol cars.
The officer involved was exonerated by the Office of Professional Standards because of lack of evidence, according to police spokesman. The ACLU listed this incident and several others in a report it sent this week to Mayor Young.
Sometimes they rely on lie detector tests, for example, which are administered by a police officer, and those tests involve some subjective judgment and evaluation of raw data coming off of a polygraph machine, and polygraphs themselves are not that accurate. And even if they do a good job, and we don't think they are, people tend not to believe them because it's police investigating themselves.
Guerrero and the ACLU are recommending an independent investigatory agency separate from the police bureau, but bound by the decision of the mayor or the commissioner. Whether or not that happens, I.E. Saporta will never forget what he saw.
I was terribly ashamed of myself as a citizen. I was ashamed of the police force, which up to then I thought was first rate. I was ashamed that a man could do that to a fellow man.